very delighted to be present here today for the commissioning ceremony of INS Arnala, the first of the 16 anti-submarine shallow water crafts to be inducted into the Indian Navy. Friends, most of us are aware that India has earned a stature of being a significant maritime power and has come to be seen as a preferred security partner in the Indian Ocean region by leveraging its strategic location, economic influence, and on the strength and capabilities of the Indian Navy. As we protect and preserve vital sea lanes that are crucial for global trade and energy flows, our naval platforms play a role in maintaining maritime security, countering piracy, and ensuring the safety of our shipping routes. Considering the current flux in the geopolitical environment and the ever-challenging security situations, our Navy needs to remain strong, credible, and equipped with the latest state-of-the-art ships. During Operation Sindoor, it was a matter of pride that about 40 naval ships, including the carrier battle group, were deployed in the designated area of operations. The firepower available at sea, in terms of both ship and air-launched missiles, imposed a significant impact on enemy's operation planning and tactical actions. Consequently, the Indian Navy established a kind of de facto blockade, thus confining the Pakistan Navy and their activities to the harbour or near to the coastline only. Indian Navy influenced the overall battle environment emphatically. Indian Navy's transition from being a buyer's Navy to a builder's Navy has been the backbone of its blue water aspirations. Indigenous construction of more than 98 ships, including the aircraft carrier INS Vikrant, nuclear-powered ballistic submarines, destroyers, frigates, corvettes, tankers, survey vessels, landing crafts, and other auxiliary vessels is a testimony to the growing prowess of the Indian shipbuilding industry. With 60 ships at different stages of being under construction and more than 180 ships at the pre-contract stage, it's a testimony of our government's commitment towards raising and maintaining a strong blue water maritime force. The Ministry of Defence has constantly endeavoured to promote Indianization within the armed forces. Indian armed forces cannot remain dependent on foreign help for its operational preparedness. It's noteworthy that the recently commissioned warships, numerous indigenous equipment have been installed, accounting for almost 75% Indianization content by cost, and as the CMC said, about 80% overall. I'm very happy to note that. This highlights the impact of collaborative efforts between the Indian Navy and the Indian shipbuilding industry. Today, with the commissioning of INS Arnala, yet another asset has been added to our naval fleet with weapons and sensor-intensive suites. Indian naval ship Arnala, named after the historic fort which is located of Vasai in Maharashtra, is a reflection of India's legacy of mariners who have guarded our coast since ancient times. Construction of this ship through a joint public-private venture between Defence Shipyard GRSE and private sector Larsen & Toubro is a perfect example of public-private partnership, of which the Chairman and Managing Director did make a mention in his opening address. I have been informed that INS Arnala has been designed to undertake the highly challenging missions of underwater surveillance, anti-submarine warfare operations, and low-intensity maritime operations. I am sanguine that the ship with superior anti-submarine warfare capabilities as well as mine-laying capabilities will play a crucial role in safeguarding India's vast coastline. I am also confident that the carefully selected weapons and sensors will make the ship a highly potent platform and a force enabler for successful and effective fleet operations.
This new INS Arnala enters service at a time when the Indian Ocean region has become the central arena of geopolitical contestation, economic rivalry, and strategic competition, requiring the Indian Navy's responsibilities to cover a vast spectrum, from deterrence to disaster relief, from coastal defense to protecting vital sea lines of communication on the high seas and safeguarding national maritime interests anytime, anywhere. The waters around us are increasingly busy, increasingly contested, and increasingly vulnerable to stand to traditional as well as non-traditional threats. In such an environment, the relevance of a ship like INS Arnala cannot be overstated. Designed to counter submarine threats in shallow waters, INS Arnala is purpose-built to protect our littorals, coastal and offshore assets, as well as choke points from threats that are becoming increasingly quiet, fast, and invisible. Submarines, particularly when deployed in littoral zones, present a formidable threat. A platform like INS Arnala brings to bear the right mix of agility, sensors, stealth, and firepower to detect, deter, and destroy such threats. And while anti-submarine warfare will be her primary tasking, the ship is also designed to carry out many other tasks, including low-intensity maritime operations, search and rescue, as well as humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. The ship embodies some very significant maiden inductions in the Indian Navy, such as the 30mm naval surface gun and the hull-mounted sonar Abhay. She is also the largest indigenously built warship to be propelled by a diesel engine waterjet combination. Built by Messrs. Bharat Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, INS Arnala is yet another shining example of what Atmanirbharta in defense production can achieve, and is an important building block in our maritime security vision of Viksit Bharat. The fact that the ship incorporates more than 80% indigenous content reflects India's increasing industrial capacity to support maritime capability development. In the last few years, the Navy has inducted a diverse range of state-of-the-art platforms, indigenously designed and built at our shipyards. These include the aircraft carrier Vikrant, the P-15 Bravo destroyers of the Visakhapatnam class, the versatile Nilgiri class frigates, the stealthy Kalvari class submarines, and now this nimble shallow water ASW craft. It signifies the Indian Navy's approach towards building a well-balanced, self-reliant force towards countering all threats and countering all threats and all kinds of maritime security challenges. In this journey, the support provided by the Indian shipbuilding industry, especially GRSE, one of the finest defense PSU shipyards, has been invaluable. The collaborative, first of its kind, public-private partnership between GRSE and L&T Shipyard is yet another defining achievement which enhances our overall production capacity significantly and aptly demonstrates our long-standing status as a builder's navy. As we stand at the cusp of induction of the first of the ASW shallow watercraft, I would like to commend the overseeing teams and the commissioning crew for having successfully endured the birthing pangs of Arnala. You would have had no precedences to refer to and would have had to burn the midnight oil to ensure that the transition from concept to product met the standards desired. To the officers and sailors of INS Arnala, I say, your ship may be compact in size, but your responsibility is immense. You are the first crew to bring her to life and write the first pages of her logbook. And know that today, you are only halfway home, as you are still left with setting the benchmarks that successive crews would attempt to match and exceed.